is up, guys? Okay, so you'll notice my quality's a little better. That's because your boy's phone's been upgraded. And I know I said it would get better on posting, and the only reason I didn't post, and I'm going to make it so I post every 2 weeks, and we'll see how much I might upload 3 videos this week, maybe. We'll see, because I do need to do the SCP series, and I might be doing Serial with Eric this weekend, if you guys remember from the gay podcast. You might notice my voice sounds a little different. I'm just getting over being sick, so that's partially why I didn't podcast, and I just started school. I'm in my 4th week, question mark? I think it's my 4th week. Excuse me. And yeah, so I've been getting used to my sleep schedule again. I've just been getting used to all the homework, and I've just been getting used to school overall, but I'm finally used to it, and I'm gonna get back to recording and such. But if you read from, hold on, I'm brain farting so hard right now. If you read from the title of the video, you'll notice that today's podcast is on sleep paralysis. And I've had a bit of sleep paralysis myself. I had it a lot when I was younger. I just thought they were weird nightmares. But I ended up, reading really into it, because like I said before, I'm a really big, horror movie person. And I'm kind of gonna do 2 in 1 today. I'm gonna do scary stories and sleep paralysis, because, I'm superstitious about some stuff, and, lots of people aren't. And you know what? That's okay. That's perfectly fine, because I'm crackhead energy, alright? But yeah, I definitely should be getting better on posting. I just got summer cold, and it was the worst. Oh my lord. I've had a rough week, and it's only Tuesday. It's only Tuesday, guys. It's only Tuesday. You ever have those, just those weeks, you wake up and you're like, yeah, it's that kind of week. It's that week. That week. There's always at least one during each month, and every week might feel like that, but there's just a certain emphasis on that one week where it's extra trash, and you're just sitting there and you're like, this is the week. This is where I want to die. This is where it's gonna happen. That's a little bit of this week. It was at the end of last week too, when I first got sick, and that's why I sound like more of a dude than usual. So that's been fun. I mean, a cough drop at the moment, so if you see me randomly this, yeah. But anyways, let's get this podcast started again. Sorry about all that, but if you guys ever want to talk to me, let me know. If you want to do a collab or anything like that, just let me know, alright? Because, you know me. Oh, well, not really. But you can get to know me. You can text me all you want. I really don't care. Also, my content's gonna get better. I promise. Maybe. I shouldn't make promises. Okay. So, when I had sleep paralysis when I was younger, for me, they were just a lot of nightmares, cause it was really weird. Cause, how do I explain this? I had a sleep paralysis demon, and not everybody has those. Most people just have that, they just have sleep paralysis where they can't move. And for those of you who don't know what sleep paralysis is, it's when you're sleeping and you can't move. You feel like you're awake. Either you know you're awake or you feel like you're awake and you can't move. You just can't move. And for most people, it's kind of scary, but for some people, it's just, I can't move. All right, whatever. You know? And I'm sorry. I'm trying not to. But I had that as a child. So having that as I was maybe 7, 8, 9 years old, between those ages. I believe I had it from 7 to till I was 9, and I always had nightmares because I was a horror movie kid and I was dumb and I got scared easily. I mean, I still get scared easily. I'm just a really jumpy person in general, because I'm a horror movie fanatic, and yeah. No, I'm not gonna do it. But I'm brain farting again. I'm so sorry. Why am I blinking so hard? Oh, okay. So I always had nightmares in the house, correct? And my sleep paralysis demon was very... It's so dumb that it scared me, because, like, even at that age, I was like, why does that scare me? Like, it was weird, because it was just, like, a black figure, like, okay, you see my corner right here? It went all the way up to the ceiling and such, right? And it was just really thin. Like, it was just, like, literally just skin and bone. Like, there was no organs. It was just skin and bone. And it never moved, but I always got that feeling of, like, hands are here or hands are here, and I couldn't breathe. But I was an asthmatic. Well, I mean, I still am an asthmatic. But, when that would happen and I couldn't breathe, I'd wake up to an asthma attack, so that was fun. So a lot of times that really freaked me out, because I'd hyperventilate, which is bad for asthmatics because we already can't breathe. Let's make it worse. And so that was a lot of fun, yeah. And I remember I always had nightmares. It wasn't my sleep paralysis. I always had nightmares about this one woman. Like, she looked like maybe from, like, the 1950s, like, polka dot dress, like Rosie the Riveter almost. Oh, my hand. Fun. And she just had like just that, how do I explain it? Just that touch to her, like, just, and like she looked nice, but like, just, I don't know, it felt like, because it was my nightmare and it was my monster, like, I felt like I knew her, and she wasn't a nice person. Like, she was, I don't know, she really freaked me out for no reason. And like, every time, like, I had a dream about her, I'd wake up in like a cold sweat, and I was always like freaked out after I woke up. And I remember the very last time I had sleep paralysis was that monster, my sleep paralysis demon, and that lady were combined into one person, and oh my lord, was that the creepiest thing on this planet. Like, it was like a woman in, like, just skin and bones, but she was wearing the dress, and it was like torn up and just gross, and like, just her face, she was trying to smile, so one side was like from here to the ear, and the other side was just barely trying, and it was like right here. And so it was really like, just everything was disproportioned, and like, it was like, that wouldn't like freak me out now. Like, I look at it and be like, ooh, I should draw that when I wake up. Like, I draw monsters all the time, and I well, obviously I draw a lot. And I'm really surprised, because I watch movies like Saw, I watch Penny Dreadful. There was a movie about it, not the show. I know there's a show about it too. I've never actually seen the show, so I can't say anything about it. But I'm trying to think of what other movies I watched. I watched like The Boogeyman, which I know that one wasn't too bad. I watched Pan's Labyrinth, The Ring, Silent Hill Revelation. Like, I watched like all the horror movies. Like, actually, if you guys have recommendations for horror movies, let me know, because I love horror movies. One of my favorites so far, like I said, I'm superstitious, so they're gonna be some of my favorites, is I really like The Poltergeist. I really like The Exorcist, The Conjuring 2. And I'll talk about horror movies another time. That's another podcast. Getting juice. I'm just kidding. I scared myself. It was this rubbing on my desk. I'm big dumb. I'm sorry. It's spook boy hours. I should be asleep for school, but I'm in a podcasting mood. And when am I gonna podcast again? So that last time I had sleep paralysis with that disfigured lady, it was so weird because like I said, most of the time when I had it, I just felt that on my chest, but it always stayed in the corner and just looked at me. It was weird. That's one of the reasons why my biggest pet peeves is getting stared at. And so I remember this thing trying to walk, and usually bone crunching doesn't matter to me because like I'm like I said a million times over, I'm a horror movie fanatic. Like blood and bones, they don't bother me. So like I hear I'm like ooh, dang, you should get that fixed. Like let me call the hospital for you. So when this thing was walking towards me and all I hear is coming at me as a 7, 8, 9-year-old, however old I was, it was very creepy. And like it wasn't even walking the whole way. Like it took the first like maybe 2 steps and like fell over because it was so weak, and you could just hear it crawling. And you know when you see something crawling on your floor, how you can just see just the top of it? That's all I saw, and I saw it moving towards me. Like this looked like an actual person crawling towards me, and like I'm getting the EBGBs like thinking about it because it was just, it felt so real, and that was the scariest part. And I remember this thing starts crawling on my bed, and like I said, it felt so real to me that I could feel where each handprint was, and I felt it just like climbing on me. So just douche douche, and all of a sudden the hands like stop like right here, and it's lightly at first, and this thing's right in my face. Mind you, I've never seen this thing like up close. I've never seen that really scary lady up close. So the fact that it's right here in my face, I am freaking out. Like I'm literally trying my hardest to scream. I'm trying to like wake up. I'm like, come on, because like by the time that I had that, like that happened, I was already like learning like okay, you know what, they're just dreams. And like I learned to just like look at it and be like, okay, you're pretty scary, and then just go back to sleep, you know what I mean? So the fact that this thing was face to face with me, I was like, okay, listen, those aren't the rules. So this thing starts pushing on my chest really hard, and so it's getting really hard to breathe, and it's smiling in my face, and I was like, you're not cute. Like, I'm not saying I'm cute, but that's honey, that's no. So it starts pushing on me, and it ends up like blocking my airway so badly, I pass out. Like I fainted, and I woke up and I literally was drenched in sweat. Like it was very nasty, but it wasn't a good time. But that was the last time I had sleep paralysis, because after that nothing happened. Like I don't know why that was the last time, but I remember just going through it and learning about a lot of it, like as I went through. And then I remember eventually like looking it up one day, and my mom was talking about it, and I was like, oh hey, I had that. And she never knew that because I just told her they were nightmares. And so apparently my aunt had it too, and she had it really bad. She was a scary one. That was a big boy. I definitely need a drink of water after that one. But yeah, sleep paralysis really does like kind of like suck, and I see it's trying really hard to focus. You got this, I promise. There you go. And it sucks even more because my brother's friend actually he's had it once or twice, but he knew what it was because he's old enough. And he said the only reason he wasn't scared is because he knew what it was. He was like, okay, whatever, and just turned back over and went to sleep. And so when I told him my story, he felt really bad because he was like, you didn't even know what it was, and you didn't have anybody to talk about it with. And so, like, even now, like, if you guys need someone to talk about, like, with sleep paralysis and stuff, like, even if it's just, like, superstitious stuff, like, you, like, and you 110% believe it, like, that's you, like, and, like, oh, you're not gonna believe me, whatever, da-da-da, it's fine, like, there are, like, all sorts of people that don't believe in all sorts of different things, and, like, I wasn't there watching you sleep, like, oh, no, that demon wasn't there, I was there, like, I'm not a sucker, I don't have that kind of time, I like to sleep, my bad, so, if you ever want to tell me something, I'm all ears, and I talk a lot, but, you know, I can listen too, I promise, sometimes. Anyway, like I said, this is going to be kind of like a two in one, because I'm also going to be doing the scary stories, which is not too many, and this one was actually a recommendation from my sister, because she knows I tell her scary stories of things that happened to me when I was younger, and they're not, like, super scary, like, oh yeah, I got possessed, actually, I actually think I did, so, but I'm going to start off with something, like, lighter. So, I 110% thought my house was haunted, and so did my aunt and, like, half of the people that used to go to my old house, because, like, it just gave off that vibe, like, it was weird. And it's the same house I had sleep paralysis in, so, you know, having nightmares, it just made me very scared of the house, but, cough drop is stuck to my mouth. Anyways, I remember one time for Christmas I asked for this life-size doll, because one of my cousins had got one, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool, and I was still pretty into dolls. And whenever my my cousin that was my age would come over to my house, would play dolls and stuff, and she had so many dolls and such, and I had, like, I actually had quite a few dolls. It's not that I didn't have any, just like I lost all the clothes, so she looked more privileged because she had all the clothes. I was just dumb and lost all of them. If you lost all your dolls, like, or if you lost all your dolls' clothes, like, just leave a comment. Just, you know what? Just comment doll if you left, like, if you've ever lost, like, your Barbie doll's clothes, or, like, even just, like, if you had a toy or just a collection of toys and you lost, like, parts to it, just comment doll, honestly. But, like, and I remember getting it, and obviously, like, and my mom had got it for me, and I'm opening it, and she looks just as confused as I do, because one of the doll's hair is, like, just super messed up, like, I don't know what it was, but there's a bunch of black gunk on one of the dolls, and I can't like, we never figured out what it was, like, it almost looked and felt like gum, but it wasn't gum, like, you know gum when you just, you know, and especially after you touch so much under all the desks at school, like, you will know. So I know it wasn't gum. And the other doll was fine. So I remember after a couple months of having, because it was a teenager doll and a baby doll, and they're supposed to be like sisters. And so I remember after a couple of months, I gave away the little baby doll, because that was the one that had the weird gunk on its head, and it just freaked me out, and especially that the eyes didn't work very well. I was like, that doll's probably cursed. And so I always had the bigger doll. And I remember I finally got to the age I was like, dolls they're pretty boring. So I remember I, like, would just put it under my bed, and I was like, okay, whatever. And I had a bunch of Play-Doh in my room, because my younger sister would like to play with it, but she'd have to play with it under either my watch or my parents' watch, so they would just keep it in my room to make sure that she didn't get it. I remember one time, because the night before we were playing with the Play-Doh, and she was knocking the tower over, and it was making her laugh like crazy. It was funny, and it was cute. And I remember just like my room, like it wasn't like a mess. It was just like there was like little things everywhere. Like the Play-Doh was knocked over. Like there was like I think a t-shirt on the floor. My bed wasn't made. Like just like a kid's room. And me and my family had went out. I think we either went to the store or we went to go out to eat. And I grew up where my parents didn't clean up my room. They didn't pick up my room. Like if we didn't clean up our room, like okay, we didn't get like abused, but like I would either get like I'll get some toys taken away, or I wouldn't be allowed to watch cartoons, which I had the good cartoons like Samurai Jack or like Dexter's Laboratory, like those good shows, Powerpuff Girls. And I was like, I need my cartoons. I have enough of y'all. So I always listened. I've always been pretty obedient. And so my room would get a mess sometimes, but they were fine with that, just as long as like we made sure to clean it up. And so I remember getting home and my door was closed, and I was like, okay, maybe it's just a trap, whatever. And I walked in. My bed was perfectly made. Like it was like something like 10-year-old shouldn't be able to do. And the Play-Doh was stacked perfectly, and it was color coordinated. Which, I mean, I drew back then, but I didn't color. Like, I only started adding color to my pictures recently. Like, this one you see right here? That one was from, like, maybe last year. And I have one over there. Like, I just started adding color to my pictures maybe last year. So, I wasn't very color coordinated. I didn't do colors because I'm just bad with colors. I'm getting better, though. And so the fact that it was a little off, and I'm looking around and I'm like, why is my room clean? I was like, we were just out of the house. And so then I look over on my bed, because I knew it was made, but I didn't actually look on there. So then I look over at my bed, right? And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, nope. And I close the door, because what I see there is just my doll perfectly tucked in. And when she lays back, even just the slightest bit, her eyes should close. Her eyes were wide open. And I wasn't having it. I was like, you were stuffed all the way in the back of my bed. How are you on top perfectly tucked in? That's not how this goes. So I confronted my parents about it. I was like, are you guys playing a prank on me? What is this? And I know it wasn't my brother. My brother, I don't know which podcast it was in, but he threw a Tonka truck at me. So he obviously wasn't going to have the nice decency to go and clean my room for me. And so I don't know how or why, but then I like yanked it out of my bed and went back under my bed. And I remember I ended up giving it to my sister, not even to be mean, I was just like, I don't want it. And she liked the doll, so I was like, all right, go ahead. I actually think we ended up throwing it away or selling it. I don't remember, but interesting. So, and this will probably be the last thing I talk about, but there was a time I got possessed, but it was just really weird, because I would sleepwalk a bit as a kid too. It didn't happen very often, so it wasn't anything serious. Like, it's just, I don't know. Like, the most I would do is go from the couch to my room, or from my room to the couch. Like, it wasn't anything drastic. And I guess one day, I was just so tired, and this was all in the same house, which isn't this house. It was when I lived somewhere else. But I remember, like, my mom's bed was super tall. Like there's my bed right there, was probably just like a little bit higher than that, like maybe doubled. Like it was super high for no reason. And to me, I laid on her bed and got back up. Like, it was just douche. Like, you know when you jump on someone's bed, but then you jump right back off? That's exactly what I did, except to, like, the edge of her bed, to, like, the corner. So, like, only half of my body was on her bed. But apparently what had happened, and I got this story from my mom because I don't know what happened. But I guess within that 2 seconds for me, I laid down for another couple seconds, and then I got up, like really slowly, I guess, and I was looking around, and then I got really frantic, and I started looking through all of my mom's drawers, because my mom had the type of bathroom where it was a double vanity, and it had a crap ton of drawers for absolutely no reason, and at the end of the bathroom, it had a bathtub and then a shower next to it, and it had a little room with just the toilet in it. So I'm frantically looking in all of these drawers, like I'm looking for something. Like, it's just so intense. Like, I'm like just like scooting everything through it. And I guess my mom was trying to ask me, like, hey, like, what are you looking for? Like, are you okay? And I guess I wasn't responding to her. And she said my eyes were open during all of this. So I'm looking, and then I guess I just stop and I stand up straight. And then I go towards the bathtub. And our bathroom window, at least in the master, it didn't have a curtain. So it was a really big window, but it didn't have any sort of curtain. So we put this big blanket on it, but you weren't allowed to touch it. You weren't allowed to tug at it because it was super sensitive. So like just the lightest, like the wrong touch to the curtain, to the blanket, I guess, would cause the entire thing to fall. And it was really hard to get back up because it's just obnoxious. And I went to go sit on the bathtub, I guess, where I had 1 foot in the tub and 1 foot outside the tub, and I'm sitting on the rim. And I guess I turned and looked at my mom, and I guess I smiled at her, and I reached my hand out like this, like gesturing that I was gonna pull at the curtain, but just holding my hand out like this, smiling at her. And she looked at me and she's yelling at me, and like I don't recall any of this. And I guess I was just smiling at her, and she got up and she's pointing her finger at me and yelling at me, and I guess I just grabbed it and yanked it. Like, I didn't even like lightly pull it. Like, I just full on yanked it, she said. Like, she said I did it full force, and I was like, and mind you, I was a child. I was scared of my mom. Like, you know those threats you get from parents where they were like, I brought you into this world, I can take you out. And I would, like, my mom could have been joking. I would have been like, okay, I'm sorry, Mom. And so, like, I was an obedient child. Like, I never, like, did anything to upset my mom, because, like, I was scared. I was like, I don't want to see if you're joking or not. So then she said I just walked back like nothing, like, and I guess she was yelling at me, and she went to go fix the curtain first before beating me. Not actually beating me, but, and I guess I laid back down in the same spot and got back up. And to me, like I said, it was just 2 seconds. So when I got back up, my mom was cursing and yelling at me, and I started crying because I didn't know what the heck was happening. And I was freaking out because, like, I, like, laid down and I got back up and I looked at my mom, because my mom was sitting outside with me, and she all of a sudden moved to the bathroom, and I was like, what the heck? And I looked at her and she's like, what the heck is wrong with you? Da da da, just like yelling at me. And I was like, what are you talking about? And she started saying that I'm gonna be in so much trouble, and just this and that. And I started profusely crying because I was like, I was like, was I not supposed to go in the bed? I was like, no one told me anything. I was like, we were just joking around. And then she starts looking at me and notices that, like, I'm profusely crying, and she's like, why are you crying? She's like, you're the one who tugged out the curtain. And all of a sudden I looked at her and I was like, tugged down the curtain? She's like, yes, you tugged on the curtain. And I start, like, and I'm still crying, and I'm like, I didn't even do anything. I was like, I just hopped on your bed and that was it. And that's when it clicked with her, and she was just like, do you remember going through the drawers? And I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, I literally just hopped on the bed for 2 seconds. And she just had this complete look of confusion. She was just, she was absolutely baffled. Like, it was insane. And I don't know, that was the one and only time that had happened, or that I guess someone had witnessed and I can recall. But it was really weird. And I guess it's a mini story, but I don't know. I have a feeling it was a dream, especially since me being a kid and I was paranoid all the time. I saw my sleep paralysis demon outside of my sleep paralysis, which was pretty creepy because I was like crawling around. I was a really stealthy kid. Like nowadays, like my footsteps are like boom, 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 because I'm a big body. And I remember I was like sneaking into my parents' room because my dad was sleeping, and I stayed home because I was sick. So I'm like I'm crawling on the floor, sneaking, and I peer into the room to see if he could see me. And he's sleeping, and his head is okay. Here's the layout of the room. My head is all the windows, and the bed's just right there, right? So his head is closest to the door, and so I peer in there, and he's sleeping like this with his head on the edge of the bed, closest to the door. And hovering over him is just this black mass. And this thing just slowly just starts turning around at me. And I yeeted so quick, like I flew back. And I was like, I just left my dad to die. I was like, I'm a horrible human being. And I looked back in there and it was gone. And I was like, he's probably dead. He's most likely deceased. And so then I went to go check on him, and I shook him, and I was like, hey, Dad, Papa, Padre. And he wakes up, and he's like, what do you want? What do you wake me up for? And I was just like, I was making sure you weren't dead. And he was so mad because I woke him up for no reason, but I was so scared. I really thought that my dad died. I was like, what are you doing, demon? I was like, are you taking my dad's soul? So yeah, it was a good time. Yeah, that's just my sleep paralysis and some scary stories that I had as a kid. And I mean, they're probably not true because I was a child, but you never know. One weird thing I will say about my sleep paralysis demon, though, is my brother has a little bit of it. He's not scared of it, though, because he's a horror movie fanatic, because yours truly. And I've never explained my sleep paralysis demon to him because he's very, like, he gets scared easily, so I wasn't allowed to tell him scary stories. And, oh my god! That was horrible! My voice was so wonky. And so, we were actually talking about sleep paralysis one time. And he starts talking about it. He's like, yeah, I think I have it. He's like, but I don't ever get scared, though. He's like, I just can't move and I can't breathe. And he's like, that's it. He's like, and there's always just things staring at me. And I paralysis demon look like. And he basically explained my sleep paralysis demon, which is pretty scary. Ooh. Well, I'm going to end it right here for tonight, guys. But if you liked what you saw and you're new here, then go ahead, leave a like, subscribe, hit the bell, or you know what, if you have some criticism, I will gladly take that. I always need to learn how to fix myself, but just leave a comment, like go follow the Discord, or go join the Discord, my bad. Go follow the Twitter, go follow my Instagram. If you guys just need to contact me, Twitter, Instagram, Discord, I am open on everything. Just let me know. And if you guys have any sort of suggestions, like things you want to hear me talk about, or you want to talk about with me and I can upload it, then you let me know. I'm a general podcaster. You give me a topic, I talk about it. That's why I'm doing an SCP series, because it was upon a request. But yeah, that's it for today, guys. I actually might be recording tomorrow too, so we're gonna see how that goes. But I hope to see you guys again soon. Sorry for the late post, and I'll see you guys later.